You are now listening to Out of the Blank.
Well, we're back again.
Season 2, baby.
Season 2. Another season of fart jokes and lies and conspiracies with Christopher Rourke.
Hell yeah.
Welcome back. So let's get down to the fact that you sleep with your eyes open.
Yeah, okay, so I still do that. I caught myself this morning. I know that I am because I'll wake up and my eyes will be really dry and I'll start blinking. You know, and it'll be like, oh God, why are my eyes so dry?
Like just
like,
blinking really fast, you just come downstairs.
No, I do, like...
Mom's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And you're just like, I can't stop.
You know when, like, you're waking up...
Making
and,
up
like,
for lost time.
You know when you're in, like, that half-awake state?
Mm-hmm.
Where, like, you're just waking up, you can tell things are going on, but you don't know how to perceive them yet, because you just woke up. It was like that, but for whatever reason, everything was still dark, even though I knew I had my eyes open.
You want to know one of the hardest things I think in life is?
Huh.
When you wake up and someone asks you a question.
Yeah.
When you're just waking up, you are, like, retarded.
Exactly.
At that point. Like, you're just like,
You're trying to perceive what words mean.
The weird thing is when you wake up and then, like, you're still kind of, like, half asleep and you just start doing stuff and then, like, later you'll just realize you just actually wake up.
Yeah.
You ever had that?
Yeah.
Like, you're doing shit in the house, like, you're eating something and then you wake up, like, halfway through your eating and go, what? I'm not even, what?
That's normally when I get coffee. If I drink coffee in the morning, that's the time where it'll be like, I'll take the sip and be like, okay, now I'm awake. That's it.
When you take... Dude, alright, so I found my caffeine limit. Okay, so you know how...
You hit it.
You know how I have ADHD?
Yeah.
And I can't... No, caffeine does not work on me. I found it to where actually I start to feel something. Like a
buzz
a
from
bit
it?
of, like, I'm awake now. And you know what it is? 4,000 milligrams in one cup.
Damn, dude.
I mixed a lot of things that you probably shouldn't have. I went on WebMD a couple of times during, and I was like, my heart is beating really fast. Something's wrong.
Finally hit it, dude. You finally hit the limit.
Hey, I procrastinated so well. I did 20 levels in World of Warcraft, so...
Dude, it's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's like, you might call me a nerd, but none of your level 30 jokes out there are going to offend my 40 defense, bro.
Dude, I have not played retail WoW in like 2 months now, and whenever I do, it's only because I'm with friends, and then I'll play for like 2 days and call it a day. Did you reserve your name for Classic?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Dude, Classic WoW, they're re-releasing the original game. And they're
Isn't that what I'm playing right now?
You're playing retail. So right now, you're in Battle for Azeroth. Classic WoW is just World of Warcraft, no expansions.
Oh shit, that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's like old school RuneScape.
Yeah, and they made sure to implement all the bugs from the original game too that were like, they were bugs and then people turned them into gameplay features. Like if you sit down, you get critically struck. But there's a warrior talent that when you get critically struck, you gain attack speed and critical strike. So you sit down in the beginning of battle and then you just go rampage people.
People talk shit that social media is like the main thing for people just to yell and bitch about other people. No, it's World of Warcraft.
Dude,
I went on there, I got cussed out like 50 times just for not doing something. Like
that is Battle for Azeroth for you.
Be right back. I need to use the bathroom. Come back 5 minutes later. Everyone's like, you son of a... I'm like, Jesus. Like, guys, I'm a person.
Yeah, right? It's nuts.
I'm slipping back into it. I'm like, oh shit, like I can't do this right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like you start playing it, next thing you know, it's already 9 p.m. Like you start at 4 or something. You're like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, dude, it's a real time. It's not a waster, but it's a time consumer for sure.
Well, it's like you don't know where it goes. It's just lost in the ether.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've had so many people tell me, like, hey, what's that thing you said in your podcast? Like, what episode was that? I was like, it's fucking lost in the ether. Like,
yeah, dude.
You go off on so many tangents.
I don't remember our first episode very much. I have to go back and I have to go back and watch it.
Dude, I remember what you were wearing. You were
really?
wearing a plaid shirt. You had your hair slicked back. You were just... It was your day off from the casino. It was right in the morning. We did it in the old podcast room. And you were telling me about technology and then your app idea.
Ah.
And then that's recorded. You had a name for it, but I don't know if you remember your app that you're talking about.
It was the Fallout one, right? Or was it a different one?
It was something about locating something. Yeah, it's something about... We gotta go back and listen to it.
We gotta go back and listen to it.
But then after that, we did Revenge of the Geeks.
Yep.
And then that was the first time I met Evan, and then went on from there, dude.
And now you are fucking thriving in the podcast
I'm
business.
not thriving at all.
Dude, I don't even own a podcast, and you're talking to people in Australia.
Why don't you own a podcast?
Because am lazy.
I'll run one for you. You just come on. Like we'll just get Chris's like hours, whatever.
Chris's world.
Chris's world. It's Kris World. Kris World.
Dude, I'm gonna run.
Not a sponsor. Don't do the rest of the song, please.
Get this. I'm running for president in 2020.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Are you? Why?
I'm gonna get. It's all gonna be a big meme, but I'm gonna get like the red MAGA hats, and I'm gonna have it say "Make America Rorke Again."
Dude,
I want to do it.
Voted. I'm already consumed.
Everything's gonna be legal as long as you're not harming another person. Everything's legal.
So it's like the Purge, but not the Purge.
Yeah, you can't kill, but like, here's my theory.
But isn't that the fun?
No, because then murder's bad, alright? Murder and rape is bad. I don't like that.
What moral society with rights did you come from?
But what I'm saying is the economy is so down right now because people own things and people don't let go of things, right? But imagine if someone like just crashes into your car. And now the only thing is the insurance companies have to deal with that, yeah. But if you don't have full coverage on your car, you're screwed, and that dude can't go to jail if he doesn't have insurance. Right? So now you got to go out and buy a new car, stimulating the car economy slightly. Sure, it's going to have a negative impact at first, but after a while, people are going to be like, why don't we have public transport? And then Mr. President will say, don't worry, I'll make public transport. United States train, and then car companies are going to have to compete with that, lowering prices and making better vehicles. I don't like the vehicle market right now.
You know, it's really, really strange. I got something to add on the vehicle market, but also...
Okay, yes.
You said you're lazy, so you don't want to start a podcast.
Yeah.
But you want to do all this.
Okay, but that's just telling people what to do and organizing.
That's what you can do in a podcast.
Yeah, but then I have to put in the effort of
you just want people to
videos.
fucking listen to you.
Well,
like,
yeah.
Be mandatory. You're the president of the United States.
That's kind of what all power trips are, and I could go for a good power trip right now.
Dude, you gotta make a podcast. It'd be so hit. Dude, if mine can get a view, yours can get a view.
I mean, I guess, but like you spend so much time finding out podcasts, people to podcast, all this stuff.
I lose track.
Exactly.
There's no sleep.
I would not be able to do that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you have like the prime hours with work though, because you're working the afternoons. So then you would be like perfect, because a lot of people are morning.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Surprisingly, like I have to get up pretty early to do mine, but I lose track sometimes, dude. I have to schedule them. I actually have to make a calendar and stuff and do appointments now.
I saw you doing that.
I got sick, dude. No, like I have like 50 appointments I still need to write down. Like I probably have people booked and double booked, and I'm like I can't, because so many people come to message me, and the way they started off is like, hey, and then I think I'd be a fit for your. Stop right there. Stop right there.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is a fit for my podcast.
Yeah.
It's a conversation. Like, you have it. I actually just listened to a podcast with Joe Rogan, and he was talking about, he was interviewing Maynard Keener, that guy, the one for Tool.
Yeah.
Band. And he was talking about, like, I want to, like, test people. Just shut off your phone and go interact with one person out in the day, and then find out a little bit about them. It's going to make your life better because you learn from experience. I was like, I've been saying that since I first started, that you can learn from experience.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's cool to see it turn into something. But like did you see the video I posted on Facebook?
Yeah.
The one I edited?
Yep.
Dude, I teared up making that thing. All 100 people, everyone's face.
That was like, pretty cool.
But I remember all of your stories. I remember everyone's stories. I remember everyone who specifically was on my podcast. I know everything about, like, I actually fucking listened. And I'm like, dude, your mind becomes
How many subscribers do you have right now?
I think like, a little bit under 100.
Dude, when you hit like 500, you should just do like a world tour. Just fucking go.
Oh, you know what I'm doing this winter, right?
What?
Oh shit, I can't say my plan.
Okay, we'll talk about it after the podcast.
All right. It's already out there. It's in the ether. Okay, so I want to actually travel. I'm going to Pennsylvania for 1 week. I'm staying at my buddy's house. His episode is just put up today, Nate. And then I'm going to Wisconsin, season 2, episode 1. That was Kelly. Guy I met over Xbox Live. We're friends for 8 years. Never met face to face, but I have his Snapchat. He invited me to his wedding. Going out there, spending the last week in October out there. Then I'm flying to fucking California. Then I'm flying. Well, actually, I'm gonna fly to Texas. Stay with another guy I podcast with. I'm literally just going and connecting with podcasters, and I'm basically just saying, "Don't kill me," but like, hopefully, you're not a serial killer with like 50 bodies in the basement.
My coworker actually, like, to go along with that fucking like just traveling and hoping not to die. These people are walking from Ocean City to Baltimore to raise awareness for like ocean cleanup. And like along the way they were just like trading objects with people, you know, like I'll take something or give something type of deal. And he saw her walking down the road. This is one girl by herself. Her friends lagged behind because she was a fast walker. He picks her up.
Those
and
fucking fast walkers.
She is like, yeah, really.
You made it sound like a zombie apocalypse.
The walkers.
The fast walkers.
No, but like she was super cool. But like, and it's a good thing that he was the guy to pick her up, because imagine if she got in a car with a random person and the dude didn't have good intentions. Like, her friends can't contact her right now. They're way behind. You know? It's like, it's scary, but good news is you're a guy. Less likely to get killed, but, you know, could still happen. So just...
I guess. I mean, you gotta have trust in people, too. But
oh, you definitely do.
People are sketchy at times.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's just because that's how we're trained to be, programmed to be a little bit, man. Because, I mean, I've seen so many people with good hearts and good intentions. I know everybody's true good intent. Everyone out there has good intentions, but it gets lost. It gets blinded along.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm lazy as shit. I'm not productive at all when it comes to what I probably should be focusing on. But I feel like where I am at right now, like the sense of accomplishment and the feeling I get after talking to someone or just podcasting, it's a fucking relief. Like, it's like, we have a social skill. I talk about it. We have a social skill that needs to be filled. People are like, man, you post like every day. I'm like, fuck yeah, I do. Like, do you know how many people there are on this earth? I don't have, my grandmom's like, you've been up for 3 days. Like, are you okay? No. What do you mean, no? There's people out there that need to have a story. She's like, okay. But, you know, you can't get everyone's. I'm like, well, I am more than happy to lose sleep just to hear. She goes, what? Like, I did 12 in a day.
Oh,
like,
shit.
just 2-hour conversations from, like, 1 a.m. until, like, the next day. That was fun as shit, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I was high on life, man.
That's awesome.
I was literally like, I just took 3 hours to go to the gym, and then I was like, fuck it. Back to it.
Exactly, dude.
Like, you get really lazy, you sit around the house all day where you feel lethargic, like I need to go outside, and then I just went to the gym, just got back. It's like, fuck it, I'm good now.
Hell yeah, got all your energy back.
Dude, I'm telling you, you could do a podcast, man. You gotta do it.
Yeah, but, see, I also sleep a lot. That's my thing.
We'll call it the fucking Kris experiment, where we just watch you sleep. We have just got the camera, no audio, just fucking camera. You keep getting up and squatting for like 50 million times. And I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? He's just sleep squatting. That's why you're so ripped.
Why?
Because you sleep squat.
I sleep squat, dude. I'm not even ripped, though.
Your legs are.
Well, they are toned, but I don't know why.
Your legs are ripped.
I don't know why, but, like, ever since I was, like, 5 years old, I've had, like, my calf muscles, for whatever reason, have just been massive. And I can't, like, even when I was sitting there doing nothing all summer, like, they'd stay this way.
Do you find it weird that guys size each other up, like, not even knowing it? Like, I just sized you up in, like, an instant.
What?
I'm pretty sure you probably sized me up, too. Like, just testing, like, I could fucking kill him if we were on an island. I talk about this now.
It's stuff.
It takes 7 days for you to decide that you're hungry enough to eat somebody without any food. Like,
someone asked me that.
7 days.
I said it'd probably be 5, because I get hungry fast.
Yeah, but I think you'd have moral consciousness still sneaking in.
If there was a corpse next to me, and
what if I was alive still? I was just sleeping in a bag or something.
I probably wouldn't. I would find another fucking food source first. If it was like
There's
someone I knew.
no food. I said this before with the podcast with Tashawn. Me and you on an island, 2 weeks till there's help and food. How are we going to survive? There's no food, metal palm tree in the middle of this island, so we can't even get coconuts from that sucker. How are we doing this? We can't fish because there's no fish in the water. We're in this weird apocalyptic type island scenario.
Lay in the water the entire time. Don't use any energy.
We would fucking die because of you.
Why?
Because laying in the water, it still takes... Actually, that takes more energy, I think.
To lay there buoyant?
Because you have to stay constant. Like, you have to think to be buoyant. You have to think to be weightless. You're actually putting more pressure on your mind. Because when you're laying down on the ground, you're like... You're completely out of it. Like, you're like, fuck it. Like, you're completely turned off. But when you're floating, you have to think to float. Then your body only has a little bit limited amount of time, which actually make you hungry faster because we're thinking salt water.
That's true.
Sodium.
That's true.
That makes you hungry. If you consume too much sodium, you get hungrier. That's why people that consume a lot of sodas and a lot of things like that, like you're like, why am I hungry? Because it's already like your body's like, food naturally takes out the production of sodium. So like if you eat food, you're usually slimmer. Like if you drink a lot of soda and then you eat food, you slim down. Like I drink a lot of liquids, so I'm like constantly like water weight. It gets rid of water weight.
Okay.
So it makes you pee, makes you do things of that sort.
Mm-hmm.
But we just get hungry fast. And one day you're just gonna hit me up in the head with a brick while I'm sleeping. I couldn't kill you, Chris. I couldn't do it.
I definitely couldn't.
I thought you were gonna say I could. Like,
No. If it was someone
wham!
if
Fucking
it's
coconut
someone
to
I
the
didn't
head.
know, of course I could. I mean,
Dude, it's like the gray. I don't know. What would you, if you had to think of the worst way to die? What would it be?
submerged in oil.
Dude, I just realized we talked about this in the first episode that we did.
Yeah, but
together.
now I'm gonna one up that first one that I said.
You said getting drenched in oil and then set on fire. No, you said getting drenched in oil, but the way you got caught on fire was being dragged. You're gonna one up that?
Did I?
Yes.
Okay, well I was about to say that same thing.
You stayed the same.
Mhm.
I like how. Wait, is that exactly what you were gonna say?
Well, I was gonna say submerged in oil, about to drown, pulled up, and then set on fire. That'd probably be like the worst.
Oh, there you talk about like dragged by a car and then it lit you on fire like a match.
That'd be ridiculous.
That's what you thought of, though.
That would be crazy.
And like, you know, it's almost been a year since that podcast. September.
Holy shit, it has.
It's a lot
That's
has
nuts.
changed.
That is nuts.
The weather's gotten warmer. Trump's hair's gotten oranger or yellower, whatever the flashy highlighter color you want to talk about.
Yeah. Man, that's nuts. I can't believe that.
It's growing, dude. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. It's just cool because when I see it going from one episode and keep on going, and then it hits like 2 episodes and 3, then 4, and then now it's at 102. It's like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love it, and I like posting one every day because it's like if you want to listen to it, sure. There are some that probably don't have any views, but that one person actually, there's always one that has 1 view because that one person wants to hear it.
That's true.
That's enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if like it's enough to cheer, at least make you feel like you matter too. Because I feel like a lot of times we don't feel like we matter anymore.
I don't even think of that, dude. I'll be honest. I play video games, go to work, and hang out with friends. That's
What do you want to do? Like, has it changed since we first podcasted?
what. No, I just still want to do cybersecurity eventually. It's just what I'm thinking of right now is maybe Army or Navy, because if you have a 4-year degree, they hire IT in I don't know the terms, but there's a difference between active duty and something else.
Reserves?
No, it's not reserves. It's like active duty, except you're not deployed ever. Like, it's pretty much like a civilian job that you're wearing the military outfit for and working for the military.
That's reserves.
No. Okay, the reserves, you still would be deployed if there was an emergency. Right?
So non-combat applied.
Pretty much, yeah. It's pretty much a non-combat. It's like there are dudes in Las Vegas who legitimately just go to their job, fire off drones, and then go stay at a cabin and gamble all their money away and then fucking pass out. It's like their entire lives in the military because they get paid so much. That's one of the things that I'm thinking of now, is not like blowing all my money on casinos, but like doing a civilian job in the military and not being deployed, because they start out like the Army has one paying like $100,000 starting, and you start out as an officer.
Yeah, my buddy Deshaun's in the Army.
That's what I'm saying. Like it would be so cool to just, after that 4 years is up, you go into the reserves, and then you keep building up your pension for the military, and then technically you're a veteran. You're a protected veteran after that, and the government hires protected veterans more than they hire civilians.
Dude, it's gonna turn into iRobot, where military's already in our military's implemented robots.
Big Brother's everywhere. You either join them or you.
You know, my
Don't.
audio interface that came from my podcast. You know what it was driven by?
Huh.
The Amazon company, and now like I guess FedEx is doing it too. All those UPS services, they're now becoming computer, like driving all that shit, automated driving and shit. They just have a guy sitting there making sure it stays on track.
Yeah, all the robots in there.
Like one doesn't just go like, we're taking a left turn here. No, we're not. We're staying on the path that we were given to stay on.
Yeah, Amazon warehouse work. They get paid. I don't know why they complain. They get paid like $14, $15 an hour.
dude, is that weird that machines are now like, they're going to go off the normal path, and people are like, no, we have to stay on the path. This is the path. Now machines are like, no, we're going to go off the path.
That's probably just an error, though. Because, like, they follow the path by, like, guided... Like, I think they have, like, yellow tape on the ground, and they follow the yellow tape. So, if it makes the wrong turn, it's just because the yellow tape was, like...
Why do we say that? It was a malfunction or something, that a machine has it. But if a human does it, we say that's just human thinking. That's human rationalizing.
Because it doesn't have a conscience.
As we know of.
Yeah, I mean...
You don't think it could develop one on its own?
Dude, if smartphones and computers had a conscience, they would try to kill us. The amount of porn that humans watch.
Oh, dude, yeah. I feel like if our phones were people and, like, they just popped up and, like, turned into people in front of us, they'd be so, like, fucking pissed off, like, junkies, dude. Like, look what you did to me!
You dropped me on the ground 3 times today.
Forever unclean! And just fucking, like, savages, like,
they have
they can see in the basement.
Their phones can see 360, too, so they see everything. They got the camera in the front and the back.
Oh, shit. But you can't see from the sides.
So, but when you're doing, like, when you're sitting on the toilet taking a shit and you're on Instagram or whatever, and you're scrolling through, you're telling me you don't hold your phone like this and you got that ugly double chin going while you're looking at it? And, like, sometimes lift it up?
Hold it out in front of me. Actually, I found a problem what I'm doing with my phone now is that little freaking thing that helps you hold it, the socket pop thing.
Yeah.
If I hold it with my finger like this, it starts to bend my middle finger down.
Yeah.
And, like, my middle finger will just start hurting. Like, I'll look and it'll be, like, crooked to the side. I'm like, that's going to be a problem if I keep doing that. But my hand still goes right back into the socket pop doing that.
It's satisfying to do that, though. Like, to feel, like, to put my pop socket fell off, unfortunately, but it's really satisfying to put the pop socket in between your fingers.
I can't think of holding my phone without my whatever the pop socket thing is.
Pop sock.
Sock pop. Glow-in-the-dark socks. That's a good invention, too. Someone said that in one of my podcasts. It's like, we'll be as stupid as making glow-in-the-dark socks. And I was like, I'm already sold, bro. Like, I don't know if you were trying to sell them, but you got a market idea? Go.
Yeah, do you want an app for this podcast?
What do you mean?
There's a website called Upwork. You can hire marketers, developers, all that stuff, all specialized to what you want. And it's like dummy cheap compared to, it's like independent contracting, but this is like, it's like the middleman is the website, you're the client, and they are the service. And like, if you, let's say you were like, I want my podcast to blow up in Britain because I want someone to be on my podcast from Britain. You hire them, they do market research, they tell you this is how you do it, and then you go from there. And if it's like an app would help, then you go hire a developer for pennies on the dollar.
I kind of get that for free now.
What, marketing or?
Yeah, because I actually, since with podcasting with other podcasters, they just spread it to other people that they've talked to, guests they've had, people that have written books.
But I'm saying, like, there's an untapped market of people who are like, yeah, I do a podcast, but I'm not going to go out of my way to do it. And I have a story, but or I have a story and I'm too shy to go about seeing it. But if it's in their face, like, come join my podcast online right now, it can be anyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of people do that over that one thing I don't like. What is it that you love so much? The freaking app, the gaming app.
Gaming
Concord.
Discord.
That thing. Yeah. What Concord's with grapes? Isn't that jam?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Discord, I podcast with that, but there's people that do like live chats on there. Call in, you can sell your thing for like a minute on my air. I'm like, no. No, stop.
Yeah.
Please, people out there, if you are going to be on the podcast, stop telling me, like, I wrote this, I did this, I did that, I did this. I'll get on for 30 minutes and talk about this. It's not a platform. I've had to reject so many people now saying that it was going to be a platform for them. I had one dude get on. We had a 30-minute conversation. He goes, I got another meeting I got to run to. End. Oh, he texted me not a minute after he ended it, said, when's that going to be posted? Bruh, not till we finish it.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you mean not till we finish it? I told him, you think you're going to come on my show or not even my show, it's our show,
Mm-hmm.
and just sell whatever you want to sell and get off? No, that's not what people want to hear. People want to hear you. People want to know what you're interested in. People want to know your story. People want to know your thoughts. People are listening because we want to interact with people, but we're too afraid to do it in everyday life. Let's do it. Why don't I listen to someone talk to somebody?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, I will end my podcast if one thing happens. Literally, if people can just talk again.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need to do this anymore. 'Cause we're all good now.
Yeah.
We all have that satisfaction now. It's not there anymore. I don't like talking about my podcast. I like talking to people.
Yeah.
I like talking to get them. Why the fuck are you interested in glow in the dark socks? Were you afraid of the dark when you were a kid? I want to know.
Dude, actually, it'd be great to have glow in the dark socks that like really illuminate.
I just want moon shoes.
Socks with bladders for air in the bottom, so that way you're always walking on air. That also have flashlights on them.
Oh, so they light up the night?
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag don't know where that came from.
Waterproof LEDs at the bottom of the socks, in the moonshine part of the socks.
When did things actually become waterproof?
I think when people realized that you could put silicone coating on anything and electronics still function underneath the silicone coating.
A lot of the times it was like waterproof, and then it's like, oh no, it's water resistant.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't shove your phone under the sink because
it's going to have to be waterproof though for the LEDs because you're going to have to wash your socks. So, you know.
Who says?
Dog.
You wear them like twice, and then you flip them inside out. Wear them once that way, then you cut them in half. Wear them that way, and then you just do the ankle, and then you just roll them up to the toe, and then that's it. Throw them out.
What?
It's a week of socks.
The weekly sock.
Dude, imagine if we had a community sock. Everyone had to fucking share it.
Wear the sock for a day and return it.
Let's just dive into this scenario. We build a community.
Mm-hmm.
What's the name?
For this podcast?
No, the community.
You're saying...
Like, we built a civilization right now.
Oh, dude. I'm already planning on doing this.
What?
I'm already planning on doing this.
Go.
You already have a spot on the land. I can't believe I didn't tell you. I'm going to North
I have a spot, like my own house, hut.
Yeah. What I'm doing is I'm going to have...
Do I have to build it?
A property, yeah. We're all building our own tiny homes.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's okay. You got to learn a little bit of carpentry. That's all.
Can I just make it in the shape of a microphone?
If you want to,
Just a fucking box with a window, like 25 cents. Tell me your story. Just like fucking... I'm like the county therapist.
What I want to do with it, though, is there's a train in North Carolina that takes you into Charlotte.
Hold on. The way you just said that made it sound like an algebra equation. There is a train coming from Charlotte going 25 miles an hour to Station A. All right, go ahead.
It's $88 a month to get the train and bus pass. And the outskirts of North Carolina, or of Charlotte, dummy cheap for land. So buy some land there, commute like 15 minutes to the train, commute into the city via train, never deal with city traffic. Make $120,000 maybe, let's say. Pay off the land in a few years and live debt-free on land with all my homies. That's my plan.
Well, you wouldn't let other people in?
Unless I knew them, no.
What type? Okay. How big is this community? Are we having walls?
No.
No walls? Stupid.
Well,
we gotta plan
maybe.
for zombie apocalypse.
Home Depot has really cheap chain link fence. So...
Have you went full tilt into this? Like, have you actually went to the store and started researching some
No. I just know this stuff top of the head. I have a welder who's coming on, and he's going for every degree of welding. He's going to a trade school right now, and each welding certification is one extra class. So he's doing his gen eds, one welding class, done. Another one, done. Another, so he's going to be like a professional in TIG, MIG, stick, all that stuff, all that welding. And he's going to build steel structures on there. But also, he's going to weld framework for solar panels. You can get really cheap solar panels that produce 2 gigawatts.
Who's running all this?
I.
So you're going to be the leader of the community.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with that.
The mayor.
I don't want a leadership role ever. I don't want it.
It's pretty stressful, but I know if I know that's what I'm saying. No outsiders, because then people start to get like that. Well, why is he in charge? Well, bitch, I'm paying for the property. What you mean?
Yeah, shit.
I just want to have a good time with my homies, and you're creating animosity.
Okay.
So,
have you thought of rituals we're going to do? We have to have like weekly something, like taco night or what?
Taco Tuesdays. I want to have an entire steel structure devoted to gaming. Yeah, like in like not the center, but one of them. I'm gonna have a steel structure of a bathroom, because in tiny homes it's kind of hard to fit a bathroom in. So it's pretty much gonna be like a 2-minute walk to a bathroom. It's gonna suck when you wake up at 2 a.m. But yeah, that's the plan.
Porta potty.
Well, it's gonna be a steel structure, just like it's gonna have showers and toilets with the stalls and stuff. That type of thing.
Can't have a shower in my house.
You could always implement it. I'm just saying, you're building your own house. I'm just saying for the people who...
I have to shower?
I'm not going to tell you to. I want to build a lake anyway, so...
Oh shit, I'll shower in the lake.
I'm saying.
But what about all the people peeing in the lake?
We're going to have a no peeing in the lake policy.
People aren't going to follow that.
They're not going to follow it to a T.
People piss in pools. People are going to piss in lakes.
I know. Especially when people are drunk.
You know what I learned?
Huh.
When chlorine burns your eyes, it's because it's eliminating...
Yeah, you told me. It's
fucking urine.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know why, when I was like basically laying down from insane headaches and like chlorine burning my eyes from being in the pool like all day.
The public pools always burn your eyes, dude.
Oh my God.
And there's a reason why.
You're in there with an old lady and she's fucking looking at you like, how you doing, Sonny? And you would just come up from underwater after opening up your eyes like, you fucking pissed in it. You pissed all in it.
Yeah,
Alright, so Taco Tuesday, a gaming thing, like what, one day a week or?
One day a week, everyone. It's not like mandatory, but it's highly
pushed towards.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna want to get in on this.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're gonna pick a game and just marathon it together. That's like the thing. But yeah, so the game center.
It's got to be a new game every week though.
Yes.
Because you can't follow the same one all
Team
the time.
Fortress Classic, dude. I haven't played that game in years.
It's got to keep being throwbacks.
It should be throwbacks. And I think World of Warcraft raid nights are a thing that needs to happen as well.
Never done it.
A raid is very fun. It's like, it really brings you into the world more because it requires a lot of cooperation. Especially in Classic, if you wipe once, it's so devastating. Because like they used to have bugs in that game where it was like, the Fire Lord in Molten Core, if you didn't kill all of his minions and you wiped, he would just keep spawning minions. He doesn't stop. There can be an infinite amount. That just happened
to me on one of the dungeons I did, which actually leads me to a really good question.
Mm-hmm.
In your community, are we all going to have titles? We have to have jobs, but are we going to have special names? Like we can pick our own names? Like
dude, I wouldn't have a problem with that at all.
Are you going to be Captain Kris Rorke?
Cirque.
Mm-hmm. Captain Cirque?
Yep.
Of the freaking Enterprise?
The SS Rorke.
Captain Cirque of the SS Rorke?
Mm-hmm.
Or were you trying to be like Dr. Seuss and rhyme?
No. That was actually all off the top, and when you said it, I realized it rhymed.
Besides being mayor, what else would you do? You have to have a job function. Like
I bring income into there.
Okay.
To begin.
You're the revenue guy.
I am.
You're going to be the bank dude in Monopoly.
I'm going to be working.
Rolls up to after losing all their shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can I sell some property?
So my thing is, I'm going to keep working throughout all of this. I'm just going to build up my pension and shit. But at the same time, I want a business being started on the property, so that way we can file everybody as employees, pay minimum wage, but everyone has health care. See what I'm saying?
I don't even have health insurance.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone can have vision, dental, whatever, because you put your employees on a plan for that. And then everybody has that. Everyone's doing a function in the business. We clock you in at 40 hours. You don't have to do 40 hours, but you have to get your work done. You know what I'm saying?
So we have an amount of work we need to finish by the week's end.
Yes, depending on what the business is. I haven't decided yet.
Are you going to choose people jobs?
You guys can apply to do whatever you want to.
What types of services would you be looking for that I could inquire about?
I'm thinking because that's such a unique thing to have a scheduled gaming night, have a streaming service in that. So your job duties at that point would be probably for you, since you're very good at the podcast setup, you would be audio, right? You'd be the sound guy.
I guess.
We're going to need a lot of sound. Like, it's going to be a big room
Well, you would
full
just
of
have
people.
to. I'm guessing Evan's in the group.
I mean,
you would have to turn his
legitimately.
sound probably to like where the input would be very, very loud. So when he talks, the microphone plays at a low level because when he talks, he shouts basically.
Yeah.
And then Matt probably had to pull up a little bit. Matt Trask.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gabe in the group.
If he wants to be. I don't know if he would, but
Yeah.
if he wants to be, he's
Probably
there.
not. He
You don't
probably
think so?
be in there. I don't think so. I think like half the time you're like, you guys are fucking crazy. And the worst, like,
But see now,
probably.
but that's what we need. He's
I
an
would
anchor.
want to do the water system.
You want to do the water
I
system?
want to be the guy that takes care of like the nature.
It would be sick to put down like a bunch of rocks. Like if we got it next to a mountain with a waterfall, put a bunch of rocks and put the waterfall stream through the river.
I would funnel the stream using rocks.
That'd be dope.
And then I would try my best to carve out different irrigation systems for crop growing. And I would try and tend to some crops.
Big water containers are going to be necessary for crops, bathrooms, all that stuff.
break into the local dam. And then I would probably start a nature reserve too on this thing. I would
See,
go
that's
steal
another thing.
animals
I
from
wanted to
nature.
actually no, and if it's not going to be a revenue generating business, it was going to be a nonprofit, because then in a nonprofit, you can still file people as employees and give them benefits. It's just we don't work for a profit. You work as like not a volunteer. You still get paid, but in the end of the day, it's for a cause rather than revenue. You know what I mean?
You're benefiting your people, not
Exactly. So the main part of it would
looking
be
at the check.
but the main part of it would be, okay, everyone living here has coverage. But then the side thing would also be like, okay, so we're also an animal shelter, right?
Okay, hold on. You can't tell me you just made all this up. You got a really structured plan here.
Yeah, no, some of this is off the top of the head. This is the reason
That's
why.
really structured, though.
Why?
Like, it seems like it was built before the estimated time it was thought to be around.
Have you heard of the physics thing? I'm trying to think of it right now. Have you ever watched Donnie Darko?
No.
Okay, well, in that movie, he sees this physics. It's like a worm that comes out of you. It's in quantum physics. It's like a worm that comes out of you, and it's like your predestined path.
Okay.
Have you ever done something?
I definitely think destiny's probably real. I think we all have something out there that we're looking for.
Yeah, but have you ever done something and felt wrong about it, right? Like, and then all of a sudden
Like it should have happened a different way.
You were off a little bit for like the rest of the day, and then all of a sudden something smacked you back on track.
Like you fell off your moral road.
You fell off your beaten path. It doesn't even have to be your moral road. This is just what was going to happen to you. You somehow broken off of it.
I think it's because you wake up to what you really, really are passionate about, but then you end up losing it after like a week.
Well, but this whole theory, you know what? I'm going to look it up real quick, but I'm also going to keep trying to explain it to you. It's like, I hop off of it sometimes, right? But the point of why I brought it up is because some things you are meant to do in life, no matter what it is, and I feel like this is one of the things.
I think when you look at destiny, I don't think it's definitely not a thing. I think it definitely is a thing because I think everybody's got something they want to do, but I think the way that society works today is now, it's not the norm, and it's not what average Jim who works a 9 to 5 is going to do. Like, you building a civilization, if you try to explain that to someone, they're going to think you're batshit insane. Me, I see yourself as an innovator. I see yourself as someone that has leadership ability.
Yeah.
Or at least critical mind thinking.
See, that's the thing. In a job setting, I don't think this way because I could care less. I don't really like working for other people.
You're not benefiting anybody by working for somebody.
Yeah, no, actually, at the casino, for instance, I'm actually harming more people than doing good when I do my job. So, I mean, I guess you could look at it as like, oh, well, it goes to the education fund, but, you know, the casinos nationwide pull in billions a year.
It's addicting
off
to gamble.
of the 1% who are addicted to gambling. So that doesn't count all the people who hop in or don't claim as
I
addicted.
might be probably that 1%. I've gambled once. I'll never probably do it again. But some nights I'm like, dude, I see someone rake in like $1,500. Like every time he goes to the casino, he brings money out. Like, but I'm like, I know if I do it, I'm just gonna lose money, which keeps me from gambling because I'm like, I am so conservative with my money. I save every single penny. Like it's hard to even spend $5 on a T-shirt. You know what I mean? It's just the fact, like, I think everybody's looking for a way out, you know? We feel like we're just, like, too bland or, like, life gets a little bit too boring. It does happen, dude. I mean, that's why I think you need to change it up sometimes. You fall into the same social path over and over again. You eventually just want to freaking break out and do something, you know? I mean, it doesn't take much just to be able to talk to somebody, and that freaking changes your path and moral thinking anyway.
It does, and, dude, I don't know. It's just... I don't want to live a normal life by any means. I want to own property and just hang out with my friends all the time, you know?
You want to have a good time.
I don't plan on having kids. And the reason for that is because I could just, instead of having kids, I could do this with my life. You know what I mean? Kids will cost you $1 million over your lifetime. But
I think the fact, like, alright, so I had a dumb plan of having kids. I was going to do a Mortal Kombat style.
Oh, yeah?
Bang a bunch of girls, 18 every year, and then after 10 years, move out to Hawaii, build a giant, like, Mortal Ring style combat arena temple / thing, and have them come find me in 20 years. And every single one, I would fight. And it'd be different races and everything, so you're getting a whole different environment. And it'd be a group for 10 years. It'd just be a group of kids that I'd be killing over and over again. You came this far. No, but if I was really going to have kids, it'd be 4 kids, and they already know they'd be named after the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You can't have a badass name of a painter or philosopher or some type of historical figure and be made fun of in school.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true.
You're not the kid in class that's named Beowulf, and when the teacher calls your name, like, you're not getting made fun of. Like, that, everyone's like, who's that guy? I want to be friends with that guy. Because that guy's going to kill a bear if it breaks into this school and tries to murder
Yeah, you win. You win. All school shooters would be like, shit, I can't mess with this guy.
Dude, have you ever seen Nature is Metal on Instagram?
Yes.
I looked it up because of Joe Rogan. Dude, did you see the horse video I sent you? The Clydesdale?
Oh, yeah. The one that kicked him?
That was trying to mate. Did you see what happened, though, in the video? You
Yeah.
hear the farting noise? The brain, that was the brain, you know, when you die, you shoot yourself?
Yeah.
The Clydesdale crapped itself, dude.
That's
Because it got kicked in the head. You hear the doink, because that was the metal hoof hitting him in the skull at 200 miles an hour.
200 miles per hour?
Fucking gone.
That's crazy.
Dude, you don't realize what in nature can mess you up. That's why when people are like, I wish we can go back to a time without technology, I would like that too. But I know what it's like to be trying to build something and a bear comes by. Because I've seen a bear take down another bear and I realized that bear would fuck me up.
Dude, bear attacks are scary as fuck. I can't imagine... If I saw a fucking...
What is one animal you wouldn't want to go against?
Probably bear.
Anything you think.
Oh, you know what? No, you can actually... If you're fast enough, you can outrun a bear. They have a lot of stamina, but you can outrun a bear.
The trick is running down a hill.
They can't run down hills?
No, their weight will push so much forward they'll tumble. That's the trick, apparently. They get out of a bear.
What?
I've researched this. Because I was like,
That's
what happens
crazy.
if I'm ever in the woods and a bear comes by? I want to know how to get away from it. Like, just run down a hill. Because the bear, like, you notice how its back's a little bit bigger?
Mm-hmm.
Like, its ass is a little bit bigger? That will start rolling forward before its head does, so it'll start tumbling down the hill.
That's ridiculous.
But those types of animals kill their own cubs and shit.
Yeah, no, they're pretty metal. But I think the worst probably would be a cheetah because you cannot outrun a cheetah. No matter what you do. Like, those things run
Yeah,
fast.
but apparently if a cheetah's full, it's not going to eat you. Like, I've seen, like, videos of cheetahs walking through, like, giant hordes of gazelles, and they're just not eating them, and the gazelles are just walking around it like nothing's wrong. Like, they're not even running away. Because they realize that thing just fucking ate, it's not going to eat me. That's weird with them, though, because they don't eat just to eat. They eat, and then they're full, and they don't eat until they're hungry again.
Yeah. They're not well, they are hunters, but they're not doing it for sport.
But you
know?
can't get away from a cheetah.
Yeah, I know.
You can't get away from a lion, either. But cheetahs are the worst, because cheetahs can jump up in trees and shit and pull you down.
Yeah, like Even if, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you have no terrain that you can go on that a cheetah can't. That's what a hungry cheetah will get you, no matter what.
Dude, I think the worst thing to die, or like animal to be killed by, is a vulture. Just pecking at you.
Yeah, but you could fight a vulture.
Not when you're starving and you're like dead, like no energy, just passing out because you're just done.
That's true.
A vulture just keeps, you wake up, you're freaking torn into already, like a zombie.
That's crazy.
The vulture's just plucking out your digestive system.
Mm-hmm.
He had Fruit Loops like a year ago. Slurping them down. That's my Fruit Loops. There's that sausage biscuit I had.
Yeah, dude.
In the 4th grade.
Vultures are fucking gross, actually.
There's one thing. Okay. We wanted to do this a long time ago. I'll fill in the blank. Long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
But we were trying to plan it with more people. Do you want to dive into it now?
What is it?
The JFK assassination.
Dude, I don't know enough about that. I'll be honest.
Conspiracy? Or not a conspiracy?
I know that
they changed his route.
They changed his route, and they still won't release the documents after the
There's still 50 documents unreleased.
Freedom of Information Act. They won't release them still.
Do you think people truly care, or is it just the fact we don't know? And it's like we just
It's the
want
same thing
to
as
know?
Area 51. We don't know, therefore we want to.
You know how I solved the Area 51 problem?
How?
You just tell people like $10 admission, come in here and see what the fuck you want to see. Like, you're gonna either be fucked up or you're gonna be like, I knew it. They were making clones.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's that simple. Like, we told you, we were trying to hide this from you because we knew you couldn't handle it. You messed up, son. Like when you tell Tom Cruise that the middle of his tooth, like that thing. Remember I showed you?
Yeah,
like, I can't unsee that now. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
But did you see Joe Rogan's Bob Lazar interview?
Yeah, I did. First,
Dude.
are you kidding me? That was our first fill in the blank.
I know, that was so cool, dude. And the fact that he brought people out there who testify with him is pretty ridiculous. And then after they got caught, they bought all the property around the area that they do the test flights just to keep surveillance on it, so that way no one can see anymore.
I think it's
So
the whole
fucking
fact,
crazy.
like, you gotta look at it at a whole point. The government does shady shit. They don't want you to know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because you wouldn't agree to it.
Yeah. It's true. I mean, like I said with the original Bob Lazar thing, is like, Element 115 existed because you don't synthesize something 20 years later because you don't know about it. You're not just combining things together and like, yes, this defies gravity. Like, the thing that we can't manipulate, it creates a gravity field like a magnet. It's like,
Dude,
what?
I chalk it up to we're all getting the same piece of we're all getting different pieces of the same puzzle. Religion, all that, they all kind of hint around the same basis of a creator, but they're all different looking and different acting in different forms.
Yeah.
Whether it's energy, whether it's a being, whether it's God, whether it's whatever. I think we're all getting little bits and pieces of the main story.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
it all is a giant collaboration, like we're actually on the back of a floating tortoise through space that's really on the Earth, that's like all just then you find out Flat Earth's real, and you're just like, fuck.
Shit.
That was what they're keeping at Area 51.
The flat Earth map.
It's the freaking, like, guys, we lied to you, it's just false images, we just took pictures and then circled it in front of you. And you're like, shit.
Damn it.
Neil Armstrong, why?
Yeah,
I find
see,
new
and
cats
that's
were
the
real.
thing too. Like, how do we actually know that Bob Lazar is not an agent hiding something even bigger, so that way it throws us off the path completely?
It lies on the fact of trust, doesn't it?
It really does. You can't know anything.
I think a lot of people want to think the government's doing shady stuff because they've heard it before, so it's like, why would they stop?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you do shady stuff.
Everyone does.
Yeah. We're all shady people.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we
And
always sitting in the shade?
imagine being a shady person with $2 billion, though.
But-
I mean, that's...
Do you think when we look at shady people, if we just say, like, if they do it in the open, are they still shady?
No.
Like, they're just open to it?
No, at that
It's
point,
just
they are
that's
telling
just
the
that
truth.
person at that point.
Yeah, it's like, ooh, that sucks, dude. You probably should stop that. But they're not being shady about it anymore. You know? Like, sorry, guys. We've synthesized Element 115 and created our own spacecrafts, but we're not going to share them with NASA. You dicks. Like, why?
Yeah. If you could add or change one thing about the government, like military-wise, what would it be?
Military-wise.
Like just joining a research branch, whatever you want to do. If you want to go into NASA, what would you add to the space? Whatever you would fix on. What would you focus if you were President Christopher Rourke?
I would. Oh, what would I focus, or government-specific like agencies?
Whatever you want.
If I could.
Your first duty as president.
If I had all the power, like I said, I would make everything legal except for like anything that does not harm another person. You know. And that could be the court of law would be full every day because we don't know what that means.
Does stealing count as harming another person?
Exactly. The court of law would be filled every day. Like, well, you see, actually, in the Constitution, it says, I forgot what the exact word was, exact wording, but it's harming in the Constitution means like, if your neighbor owns a sheep and you go take that sheep from them, you've caused harm to them. So yes, that is causing harm. So I guess a car crash would be causing harm as well. But there's different severities of it. See, that's the complex thing. It's like, okay, so you did harm him, but how severely? Okay, just pay him. You know? Like, instead of sending someone to jail in a car accident.
Pay away the pain?
Yeah.
Your legs don't fucking work anymore, alright.
Well, no, but you see now, that's severely injuring them. If they don't have function of the legs anymore, that's severely injuring.
Well, what would you chalk it to be a severe injury?
Not being able to use your body anymore is pretty fucking severe, isn't it?
What about if your brain's fucked up? People that get into car accidents have severe brain trauma, can't learn to write.
Okay, then you caused permanent damage to them, therefore you get permanent damage to
Now
them.
you're just adding the line a little bit farther. It's like you don't cross this line, then I step over it. Don't cross this one. And I step over that one. Don't cross this one.
Yeah.
You fucking stepped over it, motherfucker.
That's why we have judges, though. That's the whole reason. We have judges to judge things.
That's a sketchy job, dude.
What, being a judge?
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like it. You got one person judging based on a couple of short-ass information.
Yeah,
they
but
don't
that's...
Dude, alright, if we're going to have judges, we need to have a lot more of them, and they need to have a certain amount of cases they have to focus on a year.
There
like
also has to
10
be...
cases per judge.
Yeah, and there also has to be a board of people that I hire, personally, that I know, that keeps tabs on them, because what if there is a case that they're doing and they're just completely throwing someone under the bus because of bribery? Okay, that judge is executed. That's what Putin does. There's a reason why Putin's not dead.
Putin kills anybody.
I know.
That's
There's a
bad
reason
picture.
why he's not dead.
You just took a bad picture of me. Fucking gone.
Dude, he is playing 3D chess all the time, because the moment he slips up, he's dead.
He's the person we would call shady, but he's so open about it we don't call him shady.
Exactly.
We just call him Putin.
He has a council, and the council is allowed to have a certain amount of bribery every year, as long as it is not affecting the country. So, like, let's say a business comes in from America and tries to go in, and they accept a bribe from that hurts the country, because now that's an American business in their land. So they execute that guy. He's gone.
Now, is he running it right, or is he just doing the...
Russia's not... They have the biggest technical institute in the world right now, and no one talks about that. They have funding for programs for elementary school children to go to this tech institute for a half day and learn about technology. That's how much they fund that. And Putin is the one who implemented that. And people don't talk about that.
Open to education, or is he?
He's very open to education.
Do you think also he realizes what people are like, and he's just like, you're gonna do shit anyway, so he might as well do it and just not throw it in the dark?
Well, you either have the people who want to do something with their lives, singers, people who want to go to America so they marry an American, or the people who wear Adidas tracksuits and drive Euro cars.
So is he just focused on a specific group of people, like
He's
the people
focused
that
on
are
the people
actually
who
gonna
want
to do shit?
People who want to improve the country. That's what he's doing.
But don't we all want to improve our fellow man? It's like a primal thing.
Not everyone.
I think, see, the weird part is, I think it is everyone, but I think it takes something drastic to happen.
Yeah.
Like a terroristic threat.
But that's what I'm saying is Putin does not allow terroristic threats. Terroristic threats are not allowed in his country. They are here. You could tell they are here because we are in a constant state of fear. No one in Russia is scared of a terrorist threat. Think of that.
Yeah, but nobody in Russia is really scared.
Exactly.
Not just of people, just of anything. Like fucking bears. They're like, I'll fucking kill it.
They're not scared at all. Exactly. Because that is what their society has induced them to do.
Well, they grew up in hardship times. Growing up in the cold kind of makes you tough.
It does. And they're also brought up in a country where it's survival of the fittest. Honestly, it is. But the survival of the fittest is pushed to educate people.
Now, do you believe in human adaptation?
Yeah.
Now, this is something I've been diving into recently. Human evolution, real or fake? Do you believe we came from apes, is the true question.
I don't know, dude. I can't tell.
I think there's so much similar basis to the things that apes use compared to what we do. And I've talked to Evan about this, and Evan's like, I don't think we came from apes. Like, I'm like, but there's so many things that are closely, like, bonded with that. And then someone tossed at me the Mars theory, that we came from Mars.
I don't know about that.
I'm in belief of that one, too.
We need oxygen.
Not like we fucking, like, were people that just flew from Mars and got here. That's the way I thought of it. And then he explained it to me that, you know how the Earth, or the moon has those craters because meteors hit it?
Yeah.
That some particles hit Mars, or a comet hit Mars, and particles drifted off, and then it eventually led to getting into our atmosphere, which planted these little organisms that evolved into what humans are today.
Yeah, but think of this. Nothing on this planet past dinosaurs was native. It was the meteors falling in. Well, actually, even dinosaurs weren't native to
So
this
did we
planet.
come from a meteor?
Yeah, we were. It was nothing, then water, then volcanoes, still nothing but volcano, and just solid rock, then sunlight and water from flooding, and then meteors came in, bacteria, ozone. It's complex, but everything here is an alien.
While I'm trying to understand and comprehend all that, my fucking brain is just like, the hamster's running on the wheel, and then he just like, just jams his head into the side to where his neck just twists and fucking starts rolling.
Yeah, but like, I'm just saying, everything came in from meteors way back when, like BC times, and while the planet was developing, grass is an alien.
Shit.
Things just happened to happen. Everything on this planet just so coincidental. Because we could have just been another Venus.
But is it coincidence or chalked up to a bigger plan?
Who knows?
It's like I said, I have to play devil's advocate on a lot of stuff because you need to see the other side's perspective. Even though I might agree with you, it doesn't create good conversation.
No, I'm not
anything if we don't have the other side's view, which I have to try to understand.
You gotta nitpick that too. I mean, you have to have the negative with the positive, because how the fuck do you? Obviously, that could have not happened. Scientists could be wrong. I don't know, but from what science has told us is that the Earth had water, volcanic eruptions created the land. Space dust came in. And then space dust created grass and trees. Trees created ozone. Ozone allowed bacteria to grow into life forms. And from there, everything's evolved. So everything's an alien.
I want to dive more research into the human brain and what makes it tick and what we really need. Like, we need more information on it. A lot of information is still fucking skewed. Why is the fact that now in China they successfully transplanted a monkey's spine, they took it out and then put it back in and it can walk again. So now they're given options of brain transplants now. Did you hear about that?
That's sick.
China's going to start doing brain transplants now that they've successfully tested this on dogs and monkeys. That's all adopted by some U.S. scientists that went to China to go do that shit because it wasn't ethical here.
Yeah.
That scares the hell out of me, because if you think of the soul or what makes a person, I can take anything out of your chest and you're still Christopher Rorke. But if I touch your head, you're done.
No, but at the same time,
you're different.
At the same time, if you have a ship all made out of wood, and each year you replace the boards on the ship, you replace one board every year, is that ship still the same?
I don't know. Because then that chalks up to the same question: if I kept getting robot implants, would I still be robbing?
Exactly. You don't know. You can't know.
You give me a robot penis, and probably not the same.
Nope. You give me a fucking robotic hand,
I wouldn't want to be alive if I got a robot dick.
Why?
Because that's mine. I like it.
It's true. It's good. It's a good time.
It's small and it does the job. I think it's the fact, like, I don't know. Because how much can you take out and then change and then it still be you? Like, you can take things out of your personal life and change it.
It's you can't really know the answer, but it's all up to your own personal thing. Like, I replaced one wheel on my Jeep. Is it still my Jeep, the same one that I bought?
No, because you changed it.
Exactly, but it is, because I still own it. It's my Jeep, just with a new wheel, but it's not the same one that I bought. See, it's just a brain teaser. There's no right or wrong answer to that.
What are objects, though? Like, seriously, if you really dive into, like, the shit of anything, you start to question a lot of stuff. I think this is why people smoke pot, because it's like, you get a whole different perspective on shit. Like, why am I in a room right now? Like, you don't even know.
All of this is man-made.
Yeah.
All of this around us.
We're surrounded by man-developed things, and we are comfortable around it. Does that not freak us out? I want to know what cavemen were like when they decided to start building homes and shit. Like, when people were starting to build homes, how long till they felt comfortable and safe? It could not have been right off the bat.
Oh, hell
You
no.
were probably like, I'm going to let this structure stay up for a couple days before I move in, because I know my building skills, and I know that if I bring my family in there, we're all fucking dying because this house is coming down.
Also, at the same time, I mean, think about how cowboys were on the frontier. There were bandits everywhere, and you're just out in the middle of the woods in a house you built. Like,
yeah, you're
that's
not
scary enough.
exploring that house if you're a random fucking passerby.
Well, a group of bandits will. That's
if I was
the
a
thing.
random person walking, be like, I want to know who lives in this home. Fucking, you're eating dinner with your 2 daughters and the one son in the bathroom with fucking gonorrhea.
Yeah, dude. I mean, honestly, I love modern medicine because imagine having to fear every day that you have a cold that it's going to turn into something twice as bad.
And the fact you wouldn't go to hospitals because hospitals were places you would die when they didn't have sanitary conditions.
Yeah.
That's why doctors made house calls.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
I think a lot of what people realize is like how fucking good we actually have it.
Oh yeah, we have a really good.
Like, people, if you really take the time to understand things, like, you don't know what it was like before lamps.
We have trade skills now, right? Where you can specialize in a trade and do it really well. Way back when, you used to have to do all of that yourself because you couldn't just call. I mean, yeah, if you had someone close by, you had a buddy who knew how to do it, sure. But other than that, it's like, okay, so if you go to town, there's a blacksmith, but what if you need a fucking nail and you're out in the middle of the woods? Well, now you got to make it yourself.
But what happened back in the day when your blacksmith died?
Normally, his son would pick up if he didn't have a kid.
If you didn't have a kid, though,
I don't know.
you had to go to another town or
you
some
have to go to
shit.
one town over for another blacksmith. But like that's what I'm saying. We have it really fucking good today. People are like, oh, I don't know what I want to do. Like, dude, sit down with yourself for like 10 minutes and just think. Like, just be like, you know what? I always thought fucking building homes was a cool thing. So, and then just, you don't even have to dedicate anything. Just call up a local construction company and get a job. You know what I mean? Like,
So people have the resource, they just don't have the ability to access it because they feel like they're not.
people think too much, I think. You didn't used to have time to think because it's like, well, I got to build a house, otherwise my family's living in this fucking wagon for the rest of our lives. So, time to learn how to build a house. You know what I mean? Or it's like, yeah. So I need to refill my bullets because otherwise a bandit can come and kill my family. So I'm going to learn how to use a gun press or a bullet press. You know, it's like people just had to do that.
I wonder
You
how
had to do
guns
that.
got made in the first place.
Guns, well, China invented gunpowder, and then someone probably put it into a small cylinder and was like, wait.
I feel like a lot of the
shoots out of the
stuff
front.
that we created today was just a guy shoving something into something. Like, people, that's how we made, that's how people came to be. But like the whole idea, like, as soon as we start, like, I wonder if this goes inside of this, and then it's like, next thing you know, it's like, that's why there's tests for fucking shove the circular block in the circle hole, shove the square block in the square hole. We're naturally learning to shove things into other things.
Well, with the Chinese creating gunpowder and fireworks, someone was like, how does that work? Some dude probably just built the first firework, someone just probably built it. But then someone else who was into mathematics probably took it and was like, how does this propel it? And was like, wait, can I just create something heavy enough to stay in the same place and propel something else outward? And it was like, oh, cannons.
A lot
And
of our
then-
stuff, though, like, you talk about China, a lot of our stuff came from, like, Greece and all that.
Yeah, well, philosophers back then were fucking genius.
Dude, Aristotle is the one that freaking made, like, Greek, like, tragedy, comedy, all that shit came from Aristotle.
It's nuts, isn't it?
That's one guy. Created our whole comedic and our whole performing
he created
arts.
a word for the emotion.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And he was seen as like a loon. Dude, imagine if someone told Da Vinci, like, you're a piece of shit, which I'm sure they did. They tell me, like,
Oh, yeah.
you're an idiot.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, none of your stuff's going to be invented. And he just stopped.
Yeah, no.
Where would we be at today?
He couldn't stop. He was reaching into Pandora's box all the time. So was Tesla. People were like, no, Tesla, do not build a gigantic laser cannon. He was like, but I see it in my head, I'm going to do it.
So then why do people, like, they take criticism and they're just like, I guess I'll never do anything. And then they
Because
just
they don't have
do it.
that. They don't have the true passion for it. Then passion is like.
Do you think we're just
having
taking
people-
things too seriously?
Yes, people take other people's opinions too seriously.
But does that just mean we respect more of people's thoughts than our own?
Yeah, and that shouldn't be the case. You should respect your own thoughts more than anyone else. But American school systems kind of teach you to respect others more than yourself in a lot of ways. You're sitting in class, you have to follow the same narrow line, and in the hallways you have to fit in. Otherwise, you're not really doing anything, right? I mean, you're just...
You're the circle going in the circle block hole, and you're trying to be, but you're really a square.
Exactly. So, and that's what...
They're cutting down your edges.
We funnel people into college, but a lot of people would do so much better if they just said, yeah, I'm really good with my hands. I'm just going to fucking learn a skill.
Do you think that in the education system, people should be funneled more towards what they want to actually learn than rather what they're forced to be learning? Like, you should probably learn the basic skills, but that should stop to, like out of grade school, kind of. You should still be pushed towards your passion. Like, you're not going to be good at calculus, so getting an F is not helping this kid anywhere in life when he grows up. So it's like, why don't we just funnel him to something he's really good at? Workshop. Let's get him in workshop and get him going.
A lot of European countries used to have the highest education rate because that's what they would do. They would funnel people. Like, if you showed excellent skills with people and cars, then they'd be like, okay, why don't you go be an auto mechanic then? Like, oh, yo, I don't have to go to school for 4 years? Sick. They just go be an auto mechanic. You know? It's like, that's what they would do. They'd give you an option. They'd say, you can continue if you want, but we can also give you a graduation certificate, and this is what you're very good at, you know? So you can go follow that now. And they'll throw you in a trade school. You know what I mean? Like, it's that simple. A lot of people are too afraid to go for trades now because of the stigma to, oh, you didn't go to college? Like,
yeah, but if you listen to... Yeah, but I went to college and still fucking doing the same shit over and over again.
I went to college.
I realized it was like, do I still want to do it? Maybe, but that's just because that's what you're supposed to do, is what I think. It's like, but no, I can tell you that I've had more of a benefit podcasting with people than I've learned anything from school in the education system. You know,
well, you love psychology, and you learned a lot about psychology from school, I bet, right?
Yeah, well, I had to go research that in my own, though. I had to take that venture forth into myself, based on environmental experiences down here, starting off with chemical dependency, and rolling into psychology, and then... just finding out I might want to be a philosopher or something because I got into an argument with some Jehovah's Witnesses. Like, I like questioning, but I also like understanding. And I feel the best thing for knowledge is experience through other experiences, and also just having conversations. Because you understand how people think, and we all think around the same basis. We all have a problem with the way the world works, but no one wants to take the time to change it. We all think about people, why they're two-faced, why they're doing things, you know, two-faced, what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Well, like, why are they acting one way, nice to you, and then behind your back being something completely different? Why are people constantly judging others? Why is it the first thing you are immediately looking at someone's appearance and what their self-worth is? Like, what they're wearing, what they drive, what they, you know, you judge a lot by a man by his car. You judge a lot, but we judge constantly. We're in a judging society, which is where I stand on having a problem with some dude getting paid for it. Because people naturally do it all the time. Mm-hmm. Everyone's a natural judge. Everyone's a critic. Everyone's got something to say. But we're afraid to say that to the person. We don't want to intervene or hurt that person unless it's something ridiculous.
Yeah.
In our mind, of the concept of ridiculous, which I don't get. I'm like, we all have a human nature to care about one another. If something serious happened that affected all of us, we would all stand together to eliminate what happened.
See, and that's one of the things about the universe too, is a lot of people who are two-faced, it's not in their destiny, going back to what we were talking about, and they fall off their track, and then they feel lost. And then they continue down that path because they don't know what else to do, right? I mean, think about all the people that you've ever met that are two-faced assholes. Have they ever left their hometown?
Probably not.
Have they ever done anything successful?
Maybe. To themselves, something successful.
Maybe they got like their bar tab paid for at some point. You know what I mean? Like something little. But I'm saying, have they ever been people?
I think life and people, they experience hurt and they don't know how to cope with it. I think a lot of people don't know how to cope with people anymore. And I think a lot of the thing is like life is just, it's a car with no brakes. You got to accept you're going to collide into something at some point, but you got to know you got to rebuild and get back on track.
Mm-hmm.
And the track isn't what people say you should do. The track is what you feel you should do.
It's your destiny, yeah.
So it's like the Ricky Bobby in Talladega Nights. Like you have to drive blindfolded and feel the road. You have to be the fucking road. You have to ride with a cougar in the back seat and know that if you show fear, it's going to eat your face. That's life.
It is. I mean, honestly, it's not an easy time, but a lot of people want cop-outs by being assholes about it, and it's like, you can't.
I think everybody's just looking for that royalty check.
They are, yeah. I mean, think about it. People sue McDonald's because the coffee's too hot.
Now, I've researched into that case.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the way they were cooking the coffee was completely unethical. They had it like, it's supposed to be like 100 degrees or something. That's the coffee supposed to be. Whatever it is to boil coffee normally. Mm-hmm. They had it like 3 times set for that so they can make the coffee quicker and get more because they were experiencing a high coffee day, they said. Mm-hmm. And the woman actually set it in between her legs while she was parked, and it gave her 3rd-degree burns. She didn't actually spill it all over her. And, so I looked into that.
I mean, that's a pretty justified thing.
Damn,
man.
like that woman was actually fucking right and justifying. And she didn't even sue to get a lot of money. She just sued to pay for the medical expenses.
Yeah.
She didn't want any publicity from it. She was an elderly woman. Mm-hmm. That was like, I don't want to benefit off this. I just want you to fix the problem you caused.
Yeah.
I think that's what we all really deep down want. But a lot of people are like, I can get more?
It's
and
shitty
they
that
just have that satisfaction.
It's shitty that we have to have lawyers though, because otherwise companies would just do that and let it go. You know, like if she got 3rd-degree burns from that and she went to McDonald's corporate without a lawyer, they'd laugh at her.
That's why they tried to pay pay out of suit. They're like, hey, before we go in here, we can just settle it now. Why don't we settle like this? This is the agreement we're getting. The fact is, you got to pay the lawyer a large sum of that, like everything like that. Like everyone's got their hands in someone else's pocket.
Yes, indeed.
Sketchy interpretations of life. Where do you think we're headed? Good, bad, sideways?
Decent.
Decent.
As always, yeah.
You think you should definitely be president? I'm voting. Like I got my Christopher Rorke pin on my chest.
I'm full throttle going for president. I think.
Rorke again.
Mm-hmm. Make America Rorke again.
2020.
And Rorke is...
You just do it now so I don't have to wait a year.
Dude.
It's like someone tells you a movie's coming out. You're like, oh, when? Cool, I want to see that movie. When's it coming out? And you're like, next year. You're like, why the fuck are you telling me now? You got my hopes up.
See, I got to fight with... I think Yang is independent party as well, but I'd be independent because the whole point of Make America Rorke Again is George Washington on his deathbed said the 2-party system will be the death of America. And... he's correct. I mean, all we have is this 2-party system, and then the shadows controlling the 2-party system. We have retards on the left, retards on the right, and everyone's just being a big retard fest in the middle. And we just need to have the middle become the majority again.
First of all, you're not supposed to say retarded. You're supposed to say mentally disabled.
Listen, we banned the R word in 4th grade, and I can still use it.
Yeah.
So you know what? They didn't really ban it, did they?
No. The fact that I pictured a bunch of people just slapping each other and biting each other when you said retard.
But that's all it is. That is all it is in politics. It's just about, it's a big fucking
JFK
petticoat
said it
slap.
best, dude. JFK said it best.
Huh.
You never heard of JFK? You know JFK's speech, the one goes, "An eye for an eye will make the whole world blind." That one, whatever the hell it is. Well, I have to do my JFK impression whenever I speak JFK. But his whole thing, if you actually listen to the full speech, it's actually really moving, and it actually goes bolster into the fact that they assassinated him, was because of the fact he was like, "I do not think we are run by the people we are run by. If there is a corrupt society, I will make sure to expose them."
Yeah, that's his downfall. Is
and
he says
literally was saying it in his speech like, it's hard to think that this government is standing on the structure by itself.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely a shadow society, and as president, I will do my best to expose a shadow society. And 4 or 5 months later, he gets assassinated.
Yeah, pretty convenient, right?
I think
it was 4 or 5 months because he knows the secrets. They have ways of giving you induced heart attacks.
But the whole idea of the president is you're just a good speaker.
Yeah.
You're really just a good guy in vocals.
You're the final say, and you're a good speaker. I have a voice. I have a very good voice.
Yeah.
So
what's your broadcaster voice though? You have a broadcaster voice, right?
I do.
Go.
I do. Damn it! You're putting me on the spot
Go.
right now.
Do it.
This is Kris Rorke coming at you live. You know, like something like that.
KA15 Radio.
KA1. You're listening to 93.5.
Dude, okay, so that's actually a thing. A lot of podcasters have that. Did you know that?
What?
Have a voice, the radio voice.
Yeah.
All right, so I've actually shown it in a couple of episodes with people. Like you'll hear them start off like this. I'm Jeffrey Colstein from Alabama, and I like to do a lot of things.
That sounds like a news guy too.
Yeah, but you can't fucking keep it for almost 2 hours, bro.
Yeah, it's hard.
My podcast exposes that. Yeah, I've had people that are broadcasters that do their podcasts like that. That I've like halfway through, if you listen, they start going, "Yeah, well, yeah." Then I go and I'm like, "Excuse me." I want talking to the real you. That's why I like to say, I get you to your basis. I want to know who you are without like trying to monetize yourself for somebody.
Yeah,
I like it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I can definitely give speeches. I can't read, but I go off the top of the head pretty damn well. So
now, would you be like Obama, and would you try and implement many different things?
No pauses. Like my dyslexia would fuck the prompter anyway. Like I wouldn't be able to read the prompter.
You would read a prompter?
They
make
you memorize speeches.
Okay, give me your presidential speech. I want to be a person interviewing the president. You're going up on the podium right now. You're about to speak to the world. How would you start it off?
I'd start off by saying, I would call you my fellow Americans, but I feel like this country is divided. We have the politicians and the people.
I love how you're not looking at me, but you're looking off into the distance, like you're reading a prompter. This speech already sounds structured as hell.
That
I'm like,
he thought
about this shit.
No, that's all off the top of the head right
That's
there.
really good.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. I can go off the top of the head.
It's believable, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad thing is it's so good it's not believable, like you thought it through.
I didn't.
See, I would just go up like, who's got questions? I guess I might have some answers. My fellow Americans, just letting you guys know, I'm going to speak some real shit, so...
China will not be the first to have a bullet train, it will be us. And your vote secures that bullet train on this planet.
Mr. President, what do you think about us getting to Mars before everybody else? Well, I think if a lot of us put our resources together, we might get there, or we're going to be just like how we normally are and be lazy pieces of shit, go home and watch Netflix and not aspire to anything.
See, my answer would be, me personally, I am very interested in the space programs. All of them. What SpaceX is doing, what NASA's doing, I want it all to happen, and NASA will receive my full funding, no budget cuts. Next question.
But you have to follow these, so like you'd be fucking yourself over pretty hard. Why?
I'd have to follow through with that?
You're promising people...
That's a promise that I am willing to keep.
Eventually?
In the moment, everyone keeps cutting NASA's budget, but now NASA's kicking back up. I want to increase NASA budget.
Because everyone wants to know if aliens are real.
Yeah.
People are tired of not knowing.
Exactly.
I just want to know if Bigfoot's real.
Things that I'm passionate about. If someone was like, what about the race debates? I'd be like, I don't even want to get started with that. That's not it shouldn't be a pressing issue. We should all get along because we are all people.
Mr. President, do you have a comment on the shooting that happened? No, I don't, because I don't read the news.
I don't glorify shooters. That's all I'd say.
I wake up in the morning and I put my damn moon shoes on, and I walk to the bathroom and take the tallest piss I've ever had because I'm standing 5 feet taller than I normally would. I think if you said that, people would be like, Mr. President, you're not paying attention to what's going on in society today.
How you avoid that question, the shooter question, is you say, like, I have my condolences to all the families, but I don't glorify shooters. That's it. That's all you have to say.
I think the best is to be a condescending president, or end it with a question. Like, Mr. President, what do you think about all the shooters? Well, what do you think about all the shooters? And then fucking put them on the spot.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm just saying, like...
What's your innovations for being the President of the United States? How are you going to help out our environment? Well, maybe if all you motherfuckers didn't throw your McDonald's trash
See,
out
now,
the window,
the truth behind that is...
polar bear wouldn't be on fire.
The truth behind pollution is actually companies are the main causes, and they always blame... They want to point the finger at you so they don't have to do anything.
I think Robin Williams said it best. Politicians should be like NASCAR drivers. They should wear their sponsor on their fucking sleeve. Oh, you voted the tobacco bill? Oh, yeah, because you're funded by big tobacco companies.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's also a thing, is, like, very unpopular, but all, like, this vape and cigarette, like, why are we...
why teens are experiencing all that shit? You know what that is?
Huh.
They're vaping PCP and types of drugs through that.
Yeah, and...
Because they're getting liquid that's dosed with shit.
That's retarded, and
it's fucking them up.
We get into the black budget drug money funneled. And I say... Fuck the black budget. We don't need it. Get drugs off the streets.
If you made drugs legal, I feel like drugs would increase, but then people would just... it would decrease, like, eventually, like, a month later, because people would be like, fuck it, it's not fun anymore, because I don't feel like I'm going to be caught.
Police arrest you, but they bring you into rehab.
Yeah, but they're still trying to change you. The fact is, people don't want to be monitored.
It's going to happen. Big Brother's always watching. We create Big Brother every day. You hold a Big Brother in your pocket every day.
I feel like the president should just be like, what do you guys want to do? And then just get a bunch of people shouting at once.
No, because then it's just going to be this retarded... It's always going to be race debates then.
Exactly.
Everybody has like, oh, what if I want to identify as this? Okay.
I would just be like, okay.
Do it.
Well, race is never going to be eliminated. And they're like, why is that? I'm like, well, the fact you can't look at someone next to you and not judge them on the color of their skin is the same reason why we can't have a census test that doesn't have I am not a robot box and I am a robot box. That should be the only two boxes you should have on where it says race on a census test. We're already dividing people from birth. We're dividing people.
Yeah. I say, personally, the whole race thing is a per person thing. It's not a societal thing. I think each person has a choice to be racist or not. You're not gonna, if you are walking down the street and you just see a black guy and you're like, I automatically don't like him, you have a problem and you need to seek help.
I don't think it's that. I think it's people see the news and it's like, oh, his race is a terrible mixture into our society today. I'm like, but that shit has always fucking happened. It's been around the world, but we're now just have a better way to access that information. Sorry.
My thing is, no more handouts. No more of this false equality shit. Make it actually equal. Hand
jobs for everyone.
Well, hand jobs should be legal all the time. But that's a different story.
I think it's the same. I think it's the real problem in America today. We're too afraid to show our sexual orientation because we're too afraid people are going to find it creepy.
And that's what I'm saying. If people are like, well, what do you think about transgender? Like, they can do what they want.
Yeah.
I'm not them.
I don't give a shit.
I'm not them.
Does it affect me? No.
But then they're always going to bring up the debate like, well, he misgendered me. Like, well, how so? Did you wear feminine-looking clothes and then he called you a woman because he looked at your physical appearance and you just didn't feel like a woman? How's he supposed to know right off the bat? And then that turns into an issue for some reason. But meanwhile, if you're a woman, you dress like a dude and you want to be called a dude, just tell people. Just be like, oh, sorry, no, that's sir. It's like, all right, got you. Sorry, man. You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't become a huge argument. Shouldn't be triggered by that. And that's also a per person thing. That's not a societal thing. That is a per person. And if people stop acting like dicks all the time to each other, then that issue would already be resolved.
It's the same concept. Like, if God actually granted your prayers, how willing would you, or how happy would you be if He actually accepted, you actually like, got your wish? I'm telling you right now, if I was 6 years old and my superpowers like I fucking prayed for, I wouldn't be that happy with them.
You don't think so?
No.
What did you pray
I'd
for?
Break my neck, probably trying to fly in my own house.
You asked for
Snap
flying.
my neck on the. I asked for a bunch of shit, dude. Please God, if you can make me super strong. Please God, if I could read people's thoughts. Oh, I would hate that one. Oh my
yeah.
God.
Oh,
knowing
yeah.
what everyone thinks about you 24/7.
It sucks. That would suck.
You hate knowing one thing when it accidentally gets blurted out over a severe verge of anger.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, but anyway, vote me for 2020 because I say everything's a per person basis. Everything is a little issue, and the federal government should only focus on federal government issues, not per person or societal issues. It should be society creates itself because that's the way it is. That's how it actually is. And trying to force things through politics is retarded.
Make America Rorke Again.
Hell
this
yeah.
is Kris's season 2. We're changing the world. 2020. We're voting. That's probably going to be around time season 3 comes out.
Let the states have more power.
Let the states have more power?
Yeah.
Just have Kris all the power. Kris will divide it equally.
No, I dead ass. Like, I would not...
He'll spend the most of the time...
Even if I was president and I had all the power, if I could divide that power into the states, I would, because...
That's the point of independent.
It is.
Just fucking letting everybody else run their own shit.
Right now, we have it so we threaten states by cutting their funding if they do something that
oh, you have 50 years
like.
more military experience than I do? Well, then you should definitely be running what's happening in our military. Oh, you have a lot more in the economic background than I do? You should definitely be running our economic system.
60 years in economic trades. No, you know what? I'm going to hire the fucking...
I think I watched a Netflix video on that, so I'm going to go by what I saw.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, no, I took one art class. I think I can be a history... I think I could be the dude who manages all the museums in America, right? That's.
What's the question we gotta ask is, do you want to be a consumer or a producer?
I would love to be a producer more than a consumer, but it's difficult in today's society. But that's why I'm saying the independence front, go for my own fucking town with all my homies, you know. Do that shit.
I guess the main question everybody has to ask themselves is, do they want to be a consumer or a producer? Consuming the random other bullshit or producing your own bullshit?
But producing your own bullshit has a very limited impact on everyone else, which is awesome.
As long as it's not affecting anybody else, you should be good.
Exactly.
Make America Rorke Again.
Yes,
We're doing
indeed.
it 2020.
We're fucking running.